Welcome to UAPB Currents. I'm your host, Shelly Roby Ingram, and today we're joined by Reverend Jesse Turner, who is part of the Interested Citizens for Voter Registration, and he's brought along a guest with us today, Bishop Henry Hearns.
Okay.
From the Livingstone Cathedral of Worship, and they're here to talk about pen or pencil and mentoring and some of the amazing things that Bishop Hearn has done in his lifetime. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you so much, Shelley.
Nice to be here.
All right, glad to have you back, Reverend Turner. So to start, tell us a little bit, Reverend Turner, about what kind of inspired you to bring Bishop Hearns here to Pine Bluff to share with all of us.
Okay, well, number one, the bishop is one of our elder mentor.
Oh, just old.
For our pen and pencil program. And not only that, but he has written a book that touches on mentoring. It touches on his life story, and it also shows how mentoring affected him. And so he has a wealth of knowledge. First African-American mayor of Lancaster, California. He served on city council. He's now the mayor emeritus at Lancaster. And so because of the knowledge that he has with mentoring and how he has worked with through the church and in the community, and how he's played a major role in helping Ms. Addie Richburg of the National Alliance of Faith and Justice kind of shape the program and be some guidance to them. We just thought it would be good to bring him here so that we could hear mentoring from another perspective. You know, we talk about it all the time. We are in need of mentors all of the time,
right,
to try to capture them. So we wanted him to be here to kind of share his story as well.
Okay, all right. And Bishop Hearns, as Reverend Turner said, you've written a book, How Odds Even Through Grace. And so just tell our audience who's meeting you for the first time a little bit about yourself and your background and really how you came to be in politics. That's always an interesting thing, I think, for our young people to hear.
I appreciate that. Shirley, thank you so very much. And I guess I'll tell you, as I've said to a few other people in over there with the kids just a few minutes ago at the high school, and that is that I really get excited after all these years. I still get excited when I tell the story of how the Lord was good to me. So, by the way, you know by my title, I'm a preacher, but I really am a preacher who loved God, and I know that I could not be where I am today were it not for good mentors and the goodness of God. So I was born all the way back in Mississippi, just across the river over here, just southeast of Memphis, a little town called Bahia, Mississippi, on a small plantation. And after I got up big enough to move around and do things, began to ask questions about what is this thing all about and how can I get through it. My life began to look at many of the older men and women of our time, and they mentored me. I had a guy by the name of Buddy Mark, and he'll live as long as I live. Buddy Mark could not read, write, or do any of that. He was one of those who kept saying to me, and he put his hand on me and said, "Son, Uncle Buddy can't get where you gonna get. You gonna get somewhere. So you got to go ahead. You got to do something. Don't let no opportunity pass you up, son." So that kind of mentoring, and this is what I have joined up with Mrs. Richburg and Reverend Turner on, is to encourage the kids. I had just a wonderful time a few minutes ago over at the high school. The kids seemed to have received me. They were open to it. They asked questions. It was just wonderful. And hopefully I've left a little thought in their mind. And the title that I use, I have a reason to be bitter. but I choose to be better. And so mentoring helps people to look past their reason to be bitter and let them know that, hey, nobody really can define you but you. You have to stop me now when I'm going too far.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You go as far as you want to go.
But my whole life is built upon a little mama who cooked for Mrs. McCrary in Bahia, Mississippi, and is built upon the mentoring of older men like Buddy Mark, and Buddy Mark continued to say that. My grandfather, my mother's daddy, told me that he told me, he said, son, there's nobody, I mean but nobody, can stop you if you really choose to move forward. So my life is built on mentoring, and I plan on doing everything I can to pass it back what I have received. I've been so blessed by so many, and not only just blacks, but whites as well, who has mentored me and said, yeah, Henry, I don't know why you're not bitter, but you are going on the right road to be better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we have to go into a break, but I want you to share with the audience how you went from Mississippi to being the mayor in California when we come back from the break. Okay?
I would be glad to do that, Shirley.
All right. Absolutely. We'll be right back on UAPB Currents after this.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do?
Graduate and take some office job?
Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher.
Be my teacher.
Be my teacher.
You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess?
We need more teachers.
We need more great teachers.
Teachers like you.
What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Welcome back to UAPB Currents. Again, we're joined by Reverend Jesse Turner from the Interested Citizens for Voter Registration, and Bishop Henry Hearns, who is from Livingstone Cathedral of Worship, but he's here with us in Pine Bluff this week talking about mentorship and helping with the pen or pencil program with Reverend Turner. And I'm just engrossed in his story. So he's going to share with us now how his journey went from Mississippi and how he made his way to the mayor of Lancaster, California. So you took a few stops on the way, but yeah,
Yes, I did.
I'm ready.
Shirley, thank you. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough, Reverend Turner, for connecting me with this beautiful young lady here and the school and so forth. However, getting back to my part of Mississippi, when I grew up, there were the blacks could only go to the 8th grade, and the rest of the time you spent in planting the cotton and chopping the cotton and harvesting the cotton and the corn and all the other stuff. Well, went to the military in 1953 during the Korean War, and while I was in Korea, Boyd taught, and then our whole outfit moved from Korea to Okinawa. And when we moved to Okinawa, they started a football team, and this boy named Billy Gray, who had gone to Tennessee State, taught me how to play football, and I fooled around and got pretty good at it. And after getting to be pretty good at it, he wanted me to go back to Tennessee State and play football, but he didn't know I didn't have a high school education.
Oh.
So I got busy, took some English, some math, and some speech, took the GED test, and passed it. Then I went on to college, took the college exam and passed that. and really in the area of engineering and sciences went off the scale basically. So one night at football practice, the vice president invited me to come to his house and eat dinner that night. So when he got there, he says, why did you sign up to study agriculture? I said, because I plowed a mule. I know how to raise cotton. I know how to raise corn. So I think I could pass that. He reaches in his briefcase, comes out with a test, and said, look at this. And I looked at it, and it said all these good things about math, chemistry, physics, and all that. I says, not my test. Couldn't be. Never heard the term physics.
Yeah.
Never heard the term thermodynamics. I don't know anything about that. He said, son, it doesn't measure what you know. It measures what you potentially can do. I want you in engineering with me. And I'm going to get you done through the algebra class. Well, anyway, he tutored me. Here's again, mentoring.
Yeah.
The vice president of the university.
Yeah.
That's big to me.
That sounds like our Chancellor Davis, Chancellor Lawrence Davis.
How about that?
Who did? Yeah, he often tutored. If you had problems in math, it didn't matter. You could go in his office and he would
Sit down.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did for me. Well, anyway, long story made short, 4 years later, I walked out of Tennessee State with a degree in agricultural engineering and civil engineering
Oh, wow.
in 4 years. Then later on, after having worked about 20 years, went back to USC and did a master's degree in environmental engineering. And I did that in 1 year, 2 semesters.
All right.
Did my master's. Well, I retired in 1989 from Edwards Air Force Base after becoming the chief of the environmental office for Edwards Air Force Base, which included NASA and the Army and a whole conglomerate of other groups that were on Edwards Air Force Base. And it was my responsibility to take care of that and make sure that the right fuels and so on. Now, come to the close of my session, I got ready to retire, and I was going to retire at 55, and they held me another year because they couldn't replace me at that time, so that felt good, but it felt bad and so on. But God always has a reason why he does what he does. So now when I get finished and do retire at 56 years old, ran for the city council in Lancaster, California. At that time we had 60,000 to 70,000 people and about 7% black, 7%. But I had made friends, built bridges with many of the white people in the area, particular pastors. And they came in literally, Shirley, and took over my election. They said, we need a man of God in office. And they got busy. And lo and behold, I won and stayed in 18 years.
Wow.
First of all, I started off as city council. And after being elected as city council, the next year, they appointed me to be the mayor. 91 and 92, I became first-time mayor, appointed by my council members. Later on, then I became vice mayor at the selection of them. And then after that, we went to elected mayor and just won hand over hand over hand and was elected mayor and stayed mayor until I retired in 2008.
Oh, wow.
And it was a really good walk. And God blessed me to be able to do some things. But I haven't been one of those who could be real loud. I just find out where the power is, and I find out where the power structure is, and I go there and I work with it. For an example, BET, you're familiar with BET?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Bobby Jones, by the way, was a classmate of mine. He and I went to school together at Tennessee State. And we went to the same fraternity. And so at that point, became mayor, stayed elected, and did a lot of things for everybody. And was able to become also a mentor as a politician.
All right. All of that with only the structural basis of an 8th grade education.
And you know what? If they had measured me, I don't think I could have measured up to 8th grade. Probably 3rd grade.
But your potential was greater.
My potential
and
was
you were
greater.
able to work with it and
Yeah.
improve and showed improve.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to take another break and we're going to come back and talk about how Bishop Hearns is helping and working right here in our community to help improve our mentoring here. Okay,
Thank you so much.
we'll be right back after this.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Next.
Welcome back to UAPB Currents, and again we're joined by Reverend Jesse Turner with the Interested Citizens of Voter Registration and Bishop Henry Hearns, who is here to tell us now about working with pen or pencil, but we've been really enjoying hearing about his life. And again, he's written a book, How Odds Even Through Grace, and we'll make sure that we get some contact information from him so you can find out more about his story, because he's done so many things.
Thank you.
And so tell us how you got involved with working with the Pen or Pencil program.
Okay. Shirley, thanks again. First of all, again, thank you, and thank you for having me on the show here in Arkansas. Let me run back real quick just to say that before, I guess it goes back to about early 80s, a lady by the name of Addie Richburg, who is in Washington, D.C. right now. And Addie was and is a great musician. And so right about 30 miles from Edwards Air Force Base, there is a federal prison. So Addie went up there and got involved with those guys and started a men's choir.
Okay.
And these guys were made up of unbelievable people. Like one guy right now is coming to my church in 2 Sundays from now and preach at my church, because he's a great pastor right there in Los Angeles. So how I got involved with her, our church was inside of the 50-mile range where they could travel. And so they brought them to our church. We bought them robes and stuff like that. And it was just a good run. Then my son and I would go back and forth into the prison and sit down with these guys, letting them know that where you are now is far beneath where you can go if you choose to. Mm-hmm. And we were able to get them to move forward from there. Then when Addie got to Washington, D.C., she was able to get into the Department of Justice, got a small grant, and lo and behold, after getting that small grant, many of us, she had people from all over the country, and one guy was from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I got a chance to meet him. And we became not only just people who do mentoring, but we're personal friends to each other. And I'm pushing on him to write a book because he was born and raised here. But anyway, we get to that point with the mentoring program, and we started a very large mentoring program in the Lancaster, Palmdale, or the Antelope Valley. You got, if you know where Los Angeles is, you go north of Los Angeles about 65, maybe 70 miles, and here is the north part of Los Angeles County, right on that tip end. And there, we got Antelope Valley is probably now over 500,000 people, because Palmdale has about 160,000. Lancaster, where I was mayor, has about 160,000, and the rest are wrap around in the unincorporated area. So we got the kids involved from Edwards Air Force Base. We got kids involved from all over the north tip end of the county. And so our business then is to mentor those kids and get them ready to do business in life, not fooling around, hating and we got some very unfair things that has happened in the black neighborhood. There's no question about that. So my statement is this: yeah, unfair, inequitable, not fair. However, I got a choice to make that in the middle of all this, to move on. And that's what I try to get the kids of me to do. When I was over with the school a few minutes ago, chose a little topic, and the topic was, I'm about to run out of time here, am I?
Yeah.
Okay. I choose a little topic called, I have a reason to be bitter, but I chose to be better. And when we get the thoughts clear in our mind of how we want to be, we can be. Never will forget it, Dr. Johnson, who was the head of the Civil Engineering Department at Tennessee State, he called all of us together, about 400 of us that went into the School of Engineering. I was the only football player in the engineering. So he looked at him, he says, all of you all tell each other goodbye. He said, because 1 year from now, there'll be less than 100 of you going to graduate. And he walks over and put his hand on my shoulder. He said, young man, you football player, they only have strong backs and weak minds. You might as well quit now. I looked back at him and I said, Dr. Johnson, I don't know how many's going to finish, but if it's only one, it'll be me. So my business is to mentor people and let them know you don't have to stop with what somebody say you are.
Right.
So Addie Richburg has spread us out all across America and having us to come together. We get people who don't mind spending a little time. And today now, I've raised my 6 children, I have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and I'm all the way into mentoring. And I intend to spend the rest of my life while I'm walking on the ground. And next week I'll be 83 years old. And I'm going to spend as many years as I got walking and thinking to mentor kids and letting them know, don't quit. Right. Don't let nobody define you. You define your own destiny. And that's what my book is all about.
Right.
All the things I've been exposed to, all the things that went down against me, but I took it with the Lord to help me, and my mother to mentor me, and other old men who mentored me, and took off to where I am today.
All right. And I know you guys have had a busy week already and have a lot of other stops that you're making this week. Reverend Turner, if you would tell the audience how they can find out more information and get in contact with you about our local pen or pencil. And then after that, then we'll have you, Bishop Hearns, tell everybody how they can reach you to find out more information about your book and keep track of what you're doing.
I'd be glad to do that.
Okay, Reverend Turner.
I'll just say that in order to get in touch with the ICDR Pen or Pencil initiative, they can call 870-413-6345. We are presently working at the Jack Roby Junior High School every Thursday with kids at Jack Roby. But if they want to get involved with our Pen or Pencil program, they can give us a call at that number, or if they want to look and see what other sites are doing across the nation, they can go to www.penorpencilmovement.org, and it will take you to other sites and what's going on across the country. But certainly locally here, you can give us a call at the ICVR office. Visit us at 211 West 3rd Avenue, Suite 109, in the Donald W. Reynolds Community Service Center.
Okay. All right. And Bishop Hearn, let everybody know how they can find out more information about you and keep up with what you're doing.
We appreciate that. Again, thanks so much for being here. I am in Lancaster, California, which is just north of Los Angeles, about 65, 70 miles. And I'm still pastoring a church, and my secretary is Sabrina Scott, and I can be reached there at 661 area code 944-4128, extension 11. My book can be gotten through Henry Hearns, HEARNS.org. And the title of the book is How Odds Even Through Grace, and it'll pop up on your computer screen, and you can get it through that system. Also, I have no problem with receiving a phone call from anyone. I won't put my cell phone out there, but that is my business phone, and I'd be more than happy to answer any question that anybody has about mentoring. I also have no problem with going anywhere in the country. I ain't planning on going overseas, no matter spend enough time overseas.
Okay.
But I would be happy to travel anywhere. I do not charge for speaking. Be glad to come and speak to young people, old folks, and folks.
And Shirley, let me also say that in our pen or pencil program at Jack Roby, we have presently about 15, 17 students. The mayor of Pine Bluff has purchased 15 of these books, and we're going to give these books to our kids who are in our mentoring program so that they can read, and we'll also read. We'll discuss this book. We'll have, and that's what we do with our reading. We have those kids to read and learn about certain things, check their comprehension. And so, like I say, the mayor has bought 15 of these, and I just want to plug that.
All right, absolutely.
She didn't have to do it, but she did because she is associated in helping young people in Pine Bluff.
Do we have a number, Jesse, where anybody could call the office for Miss Addie Richburg, or we don't have that?
I don't have that.
Okay, that's fine. We will add it in later on the screen. We'll find that, and Reverend Turner can send me that, and we'll add it in later.
And thanks again for having us here. UAPB is in the community. It does a lot of things here in Pine Bluff. This TV station has a lot of different topics, subjects, and they do a great job. And so we're just happy to bring you here so that you can share with our community. But UAPB TV is in the neighborhood.
Thank you so much, Reverend Turner. Thank you for that. And I really appreciate you bringing Bishop Hearn and always coming through and sharing with us what you and the young people you're working with have going on. And it was a pleasure meeting you, Bishop Hearn.
Thank you so much.
A pleasure meeting you. I've enjoyed everything you've shared with us.
Thank you so much.
Next time you're in town, then please do stop by and visit with us again.
We will do that.
Okay. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time on UAPB Current.